tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello. Welcome! There it is. Welcome to the SVU AfterBuzz After Show. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Tweet me live during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. Be sure to use the hashtag ABTVSVU. Yes, the entire alphabet. And now let me introduce my lovely co-hosts, Lauren Salaun, dancing up a storm.
Hello, everybody. Lauren Salaun. I have missed everyone in this panel and all y'all in the chat so much. You can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun.
Boom. You
And
guys can hit
Jesse.
me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Wow, way to F with the mic.
Well, it wasn't the sweet spot,
really
so I just
excited.
really...
Yeah,
no,
yes.
the music, I love that you share my sentiment for the theme song.
Oh, no, it's good.
I
Did
get
you-
made fun of
I got-
in my household when
Oh.
the song comes, and I'm like,
No, it's a good
they're
song.
like, Jesse, you can't even dance that.
Okay,
Yeah, you can.
before we jump into this week's episode, because we got a lot to talk about, let me first thank our fans for tuning in and give them a hotline that they may need. Lauren
Oh,
Salaun.
yeah. The RAIN, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. It's 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-HOPE.
Awesome. Now that we've gotten the important stuff out of the way, let me explain how this show works, guys. There are serious topics. This episode, real serious stuff went down. We're going to make awful jokes. That's how we deal with things sometimes when it gets really dark. I apologize if that offends anyone's sensibilities. If you have been in a serious issue, we have the hotline for you. So, yeah, that's how we deal. That's what I'm going to say.
1-800-656-HOPE.
Thanks. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, overall thoughts on the episode.
Oh, it was a big episode. I loved it.
Yeah?
It was super intense. I like that it, was close to home. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved watching it. I think they handled it really well, too, which we'll get into the
Okay.
specifics.
Jesse?
Great episode.
Okay. So we've hated Deputy Commissioner Hank Abraham. Like every time we see him, we hate him. And by the end of this episode, I was like, no,
Right?
I didn't want it to be him.
I know. You kind of feel bad for him. I was very glad that they didn't have him be a molester
Yeah.
on top of it, wasn't like
Yeah.
abusing his children. And I didn't think they were going to go that route. That felt like taking it way too far. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that that boundary was in place. Obviously, he's a pretty messed up guy, but I'm happy they didn't go there completely.
He might as well.
Yeah, right? I'm
Well,
in the same place. I was
It's
like,
not like he's a good dad. I mean, come on with all this. But it was a huge relief that that wasn't true.
I just love that they showed, the whole storyline with the family and seeing
Yeah.
like what it would be like to be, married to someone like that,
Yeah.
and seeing her be mad at Liv, and then all of a sudden it turned into
You're
it's really
right,
happening.
yeah.
And seeing that emotion, because I was like, no way, because SVU can do it. I was
Yeah.
like, no way they're going to carry her all the way to the end. She's going to be rooting for this man until the end
Yeah.
scene.
Well, and that scene was incredible.
Yeah.
Like the breakdown, and you see her whole transition of like, no, he didn't do it, and she's standing by his side, doesn't believe any of this, and then that switch when she's like, wait, you're saying he really did this? And she just loses it with Liv at
Yeah.
court and stuff. I thought that was so well done. It was such a good roller coaster of emotions.
I'm going to say something awful, and I'm sorry.
You hate her.
No, I love Pippa Cox.
Yeah, I love her.
When he attempted suicide, there are air quotes on that, slit his wrist. That's not how it works, guys. I was like, good. I'm sorry, but at that point, what is there to live for, sir?
Well, okay. In the essence of you're a bad guy, yes. And not only that, but then watching like the O.J. Simpson thing too, with the whole, it's just all in my head right now. And I'm like, First of all, if you're really trying to get away with it, like, this is going to make you look like totally guilty. If you're trying to save your family, your kids, or anything, like, this isn't the way for you to do it. So I love that she's the one, as twisted and fucked up as that is, I love that she was the one that found him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what made her with Olivia be like, look at Olivia and be like, this is really happening. Yeah. Because it took to the fact of, like, why are you trying to kill yourself if you're not searching for pedophile porn? Like, why would you kill yourself?
It reminds me of the episode. I love this show so much. Okay, so, gosh, I can't remember the name of the episode, which makes me really sad. But we had the guy who had Perv Finder. He made the app, and then it turned out that he was the guy who was raping these little girls and taking their photo, and then he would go into the computer and put it on the other guy's computer, and they framed the guy from Glee. No, nobody? Okay. Anyway.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, you guys are killing me. Someone in the chat's going to be like, obviously it's this episode. Yeah. Anyway, it reminded me of that because he ended up driving, he was innocent, and he ended up driving himself into a truck. Like, his pregnant wife gets out of the car and he jumps into the car and then drives into a truck. It's the guy who used to be the singing coach on Glee. Anyway.
Oh, okay. I needed you to give me the Glee reference.
Sorry. Anyway, it reminded me of that guy because he also was being framed. Well, he was being framed. And he was a child molester and he killed himself. And I was like, good!
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, when that kind of suicide is not encouraged.
Guys, if you are
obviously we're not doing that.
Just to be clear, if you are in need, please. There are suicide hotlines, and it gets better, and all that. Go on.
But yeah, when you're watching a TV show, you want the bad guy to go down. But I didn't really, because I'm sorry, like. Jail's not going to be... No, not because I like him, because I think jail is a worse place.
Yeah, it's an easy way out. He killed himself.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with your family, your friends. You don't have to...
We don't need him on this earth.
Well, this is true.
I'm going to say this.
I feel like he could get...
I'm not saying anyone should kill themselves, but if you're molesting children, go ahead.
I mean...
No?
But guys, people who do that kind of shit in prison
That's true.
See, I just said, like, when you kill yourself, you
decide what happens.
Yeah, like,
I get what you're saying.
That's the part that's just like...
All right, let's start with the beginning of the episode, because we jumped into the end. And I get yelled at when I don't talk about the plot. People get mad. All right, so we start with way undercover Rollins with, this new girl.
How long did this go back with Rollins and Sugar Daddy, Brown Sugar, whatever his name is?
I really liked that storyline. Yes. Yeah. And I wanted that to be the episode, right? Like, I would have liked to see that be how it started and not see the rest of the detectives watching and then be like 24 hours earlier or something like that.
Right. And
that was interesting.
I thought I didn't see a ton of commercials and stuff like that for this week's episode, so I thought that's what it was going to be about. And I'm like, watching it like, no, but I love George Foreman. I hope this isn't about him in real life, and he's not a bad guy. And, I mean, it went in a whole different direction. No.
I also was like, wait, is this a flashback to Atlanta? Because he called her the Southern Belle. Yeah, and I was like, oh, is this like a flashback? She's gonna wake up with the baby crying or something.
But I mean, we've seen her. Like, remember when she was, the underground club she was going to all the time and stuff like that. So I mean, that's.
You mean where she met her baby daddy?
Yeah. So to me, that's where like. I was pulling the reference of what she's doing. Yeah. In that, I would have liked to see it more, especially with her having a child now and being kind of out of that. So we think out of that addictive. Personality.
But it did seem like we got dropped into this like long-running undercover project that we have no knowledge of.
Right. I would have really liked to see it build to that. I love when they go undercover.
Yeah. It's super fun.
But I feel like there has to be an episode that this ties, but years ago. No. At all.
Nothing. So her niece, air quotes on the niece, is a girl who's in the academy to be a cop. And then at the end, Rollins is like, your heroes will die with this job.
Right.
How sad. Also, I want that girl to join the team.
Yeah. I mean, because we don't usually see too many outside team members having a role like that in the episodes where they're actually, like, aside from just, like, helping break down doors and
there
arrest
was
people.
Specific episode that I could think of, which was called Demon, and it was when Stabler was still around, when he, and it was guest star Robert Patrick, were both So Stabler went undercover as I guess he molested his stepdaughter was the story that he told.
Okay.
And they put out bait to try to get Robert Patrick, and it was a cop who looked very young.
Yeah.
Fun fact, guys, I watched the show a lot.
So you want her to be...
I want her to now join the team,
get
right?
more...
So that way we can see more of that kind of stuff? Or?
Kind of. I like the idea of that girl, like...
Or just younger, someone younger on
someone younger, but also the idea that, like, we met a girl who was a cadet and was, like, learning and was training, and then she chose to join the team because of this experience she had. She was like, you know what, I'm doing good. I want to be part of your team now.
I like that, too, because I feel like... Not that Rollins and Olivia are... like I look at their age difference or anything like that, but they are on the older end of the force, and so I would like some fresh blood to kind of get in and
like Carisi.
Yeah, but on the female side, I feel
right.
like we get it a lot with guys, like a green guy coming in, even with Ice Cube when he came in.
Yeah, we could use a new
Ice-T.
lady on the team.
Wrong ice.
Wrong ice.
Wrong beverage, and. I agree. I also think it would be nice to see another woman who chooses to be on that team. And I like the dynamic of Rollins being able to have like a niece, air quotes on that again, someone that she's mentoring. It's interesting to see.
And that could also actually play to
her
how
being the new Olivia.
Yeah, because she has a mentee. All right.
All right, so we leave that story because Brown Sugar cuts a deal.
How did you guys feel about the deal cutting situation? Because I was just, again, watching the OJ thing. I'm like...
Well, that's like how it goes. If you can get the big guys, let the little guy go, or let whoever gets you them go, which is so like shady because...
I hate it. Let me reference another episode. So there was an episode where a little boy was being abused by his stepdad. It was when Rosie Perez guest starred. Guys,
okay.
I remember this, but I'm not going to remember all the details.
Okay. So they arrested the dad, and he made a deal that he was meeting with the guy who's in charge of an online pedophilia training ring. And the guy came in and had to come to dinner, and they had to like do a fake dinner. And the deal was that the stepdad would get a lighter sentence for the information from the guy who was running the ring. Fun fact, the guy running the ring was the father on Raising Hope.
Hey. The more you know.
Yeah. Guys, I watch a lot of TV.
I don't know how much like deals like that happen in real life. Obviously, I'm sure they do, but sometimes, for the greater good, the bigger bad guy or more bad guys.
So we end up getting 3 bad guys.
Cut someone some
out
immunity.
Out of the whole deal.
Yeah.
And the bad guys are, what was the name of the website? It was something, it was like Cradle Robbers?
Cradle, yeah.
With a Z?
Robbers.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was like, oh, of course it's with a Z.
But honestly, that's actually, I was doing some research, better than one name, like more creative than
ones I found.
some of the ones Shadow Book. Like,
no.
Oh, wait till I tell you.
Okay, wait till we get to real news. Okay, so we get the old guy who doesn't know how to use a computer. That was so funny.
Did you guys
at
one point think it was somehow going to get turned back on him in any way?
No, I thought it was like his grandson
That's
who
what
lived with him.
Yes, I definitely thought it was going to be someone who lives with him. Because we've had episodes where the old guy doesn't know how to use the internet and it's someone else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, gosh, my head is spinning with all sorts of episodes, guys.
Right now. It's like a reunion in your head.
In my head, I'm like trying to be like, it wasn't this episode, it was this episode. I'm not going to tell you about it. Okay, so we end up going next door, and it's Pippa Cox. And Pippa opens the door. I love Pippa, and for those who don't remember, we've seen her in a bunch of episodes where she's protecting children. And I didn't realize that Pippa Cox and Hank Abraham were a couple.
Me neither.
And she even says, we keep our private and professional life very separate.
And your private life.
Yeah, so like we don't know. And she's like, most people we work with don't know that we're married, which is a little weird. Yeah.
Especially
you're married.
With kids and
yeah, I mean, I get like you want to be taken seriously as your own self, so you don't want each other's careers or whatnot to influence things or be treated differently. But I'm sorry, that's a little weird to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can look at it. I'll look at it from this perspective. Like with superheroes, they always say, "Don't say who you love or who you're related to," because think about it, if someone hates him, they'll go to your house, and so I could see that part of it.
Right.
I love that.
Especially with her, if she's protecting kids, and you have these people, and they're like,
right. So he's the Deputy Commissioner of Public Information. So we've seen him in all these episodes in the last, I don't know, since last season, being obnoxious as F, being like, you can't do this, and you need to do this because it looks better for the team, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah.
And he just has a face that you don't really like.
That actor always plays a jerk.
I feel like a jerk saying that.
No.
But he from day one, you're like, ugh, I don't like him.
This is another situation like Rudnick, where they gave us another character, and they just pretended he was just another person in their world, and he's not. And I feel like we haven't really done this since Stucky. I don't know if you guys remember Stucky.
Yes,
he had
Little Blondie.
he had like a 3 or 4 episode. It was 3-episode arc where he played he was the like CSI tech assistant. Yeah. And his catchphrase was "Bing Bang Bong." Just fun fact.
Bing Bang Bong.
Yeah. Every time he thought he solved the case, he went "Bing Bang Bong." It's this.
Oh my god.
Anyway, and then he was the murderer. Anyway.
Yeah.
I liked it,
I watched
though.
that episode like a month ago.
Was it the episode where we realize he's the murderer? Or is it the one with Hilary Duff?
No, where we
Not
realize
Hilary
he's the
Duff.
murderer.
Was it Hilary Duff? Yeah, it was Hilary Duff.
Oh, also random. I went back and watched from last week.
Yeah.
The cellmate with what was his name? Rutner. The guy that just as the older woman.
Oh, Rudnick.
Yeah. His cellmate was the roommate to what's his name, who's kidnapped Liv last season for like 3 episodes.
Oh, he was the guy who worked with him.
No, they were in the same home together.
Right. William Lewis's.
Random. It was just like
funny.
Same guy.
Has the same character?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the same character.
He's just still in jail.
Same name. No, he wasn't in jail. He was in a halfway house.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So now he's in jail,
Now
and
he's
He's not the guy who was there when William Lewis burned his fingers off.
Yes. That's the same
We're gonna have
kid.
to look into this.
No, go look it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, so that's 2 different characters from William Lewis's story crossing over into the escape of Rudnick. Interesting.
That's why I was like, this kid looks so familiar, and I went back.
Yeah, no, he
totally
looked familiar, and I was like, he probably was a victim at some point. Like knowing the show is probably.
Well, yeah, because a couple months ago we went through all the people who have like made repeat appearances as completely different characters.
Yeah, I mean,
too funny.
Everyone remembers that Novak originally raped a man. Pre-Novak, she was a character who raped a man.
Funny.
Anyway, okay. So then we have his kids. Okay, so at least the police are very kind in their investigation. Mm-hmm. They don't break anything.
How did you feel about Liv though? Because I was a little bit like. I feel like she's like, and you know how she gets a little overexcited when it's like, we're about to bust his balls, and we walked in on him, and he shut the thing down.
Yeah.
Saw it.
And I couldn't really tell if she was like, we're giving you 20 minutes, so get your kids out. I couldn't tell if she was like genuinely like, I'm worried for your family, or if she was like, you got 20 minutes, get up. Like, I was just, what did you guys
I actually thought while we were doing that, because they were so adamant, like Tucker and everybody, like, do this by the book. I don't want any mess ups, blah, blah, blah. And Liv's like, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to get your stuff instead of kicking you out right now. I thought some sort of glitch in protocol was going to happen, and this was going to have this big case, and then they were going to get screwed legally because they didn't follow some rules.
Right.
So that's what I was like, oh gosh, they keep saying follow protocol. Someone's not going to follow protocol. It's going to crumble. So that's where I was with it. But I did appreciate her. I mean, we saw Liv being pretty suspicious of whether or not Pippa knew about it, and so I think it was nice of her to give her that little extra time to let the kids do their thing. But then I was also like, what if she is in on it and she destroys some evidence?
That would have been the biggest mind blow of everything.
Yeah.
Like, you are out here protecting children and then setting them up for the dark web.
I know.
Yeah.
I would have really liked it if I didn't like that if Pippa would have been on. That wouldn't have been good for me. But I really liked. I lost what I was going to say. Oh, no. Silly.
Well, while you're thinking about it, some folks in the chat, someone said Nay said that same guy robbed a corpse in an episode.
Oh yeah, he was the one who liked to hump fluffy coats.
Oh gosh.
Right is the guy who likes coats. He really likes coats.
We need to see the arc of all of these episodes.
How many episodes
do you know which one I'm talking
yes,
about?
Yes, I do.
Where they were like, it's necrophilia, and he goes, no, I like the coat.
Oh.
Good call.
Yeah, that's so
Shout
funny.
out to the chat room.
Yay, chat roll. I don't remember what I was going to say about Pippa and the kids. But
you love the kid moments. I know that for sure. You're like, more of the kids. Let's
this
see
is
more
gonna
of the
sound,
kids.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound really awful, but I'm going to say it. I think that his aversion to child porn, but not molesting his kids, felt strange in this story.
That he likes child porn, but he doesn't
character.
touch his children.
Yes.
It was-
When you say it like that, it sounds so awful.
I thought that because I said to myself, okay, maybe he's really smart where he doesn't touch his children,
But he touches other
because
children.
he's that's where I was
Right.
with it, and I was just like,
Because what's the
it's a lot of temptation.
Yeah.
You kissing your girl goodnight
Yeah.
I don't
every
know
night.
if, I mean,
I'm trying to
don't know
apply
how
it-
his brain works or
right.
people's brains work like that, but there may not need to be.
I'm trying to apply it to more
outlet.
acceptable things,
So
right? So let's say you're into feet and you watch porn that's into feet. You
Naturally,
probably
you're
gonna
gonna touch a lot of
you're gonna
feet.
touch feet. But then if you take it to less extreme fetishes, so like you're into, I don't know.
Well, for this kind of stuff, I was
Trying to
reading
think
some of the.
I'm trying to think of what I'm into and what I do with it.
Yeah.
Go on.
But, I mean, being into feet, that's not like that weird, but being into child porn, that's like a very clear differentiator, and he, I think still, even though he's very messed up, has that like right and wrong, like trying his best to not cross that line, even though he's still totally a bad guy, criminal, all that. But he's like, well, I've never touched anybody.
He made like Asian little Asian girls.
As if it's
and
like
his kids
totally
are not
okay.
Asian. Is what you're saying? I see what you're saying.
You know, but no, I was reading some things like some people are like really into like looking at like the baby in the uterus and like that's what they look at on the web and like that gets them.
Well, look, I mean, there are people who are attracted to like.
Yeah.
There's a thing. We don't judge here.
I mean, it's not weird.
To be clear,
I'm
different.
judging.
No.
that.
No.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
judging that. You want to jerk off to a
fetus?
I
No,
can't.
it's not.
Jesse Janedy is.
Jesse, I'm going to assume that the idea isn't that they're attracted to the fetus, that they're attracted to the idea of like what a woman's
Creation.
body can do. Yeah.
The powerful uterus.
Okay.
Which is like the same thing when guys are into like pregnant girls. It's less about the fact that, there's
It's
a
because
child
it means
there.
they're fertile and have sex,
Yeah.
and they had sex, and that's
Johnny,
how that
I-
happened.
I am.
Okay. Well,
No, I mean, because that's those sorts of. I mean,
If
when it
you have to
involves children,
create
it's kinda
dark,
wrong.
deep shit and put it on the dark web, then and you need to be in a. First of all, he was in the house with his children, with his wife. She was like washing dishes, and he's just in there
it was like
jerking
2
off.
a.m. It was 1 a.m.
It's just come on.
Okay.
You got a phone.
Was it minute? Yes.
Not. It was like some people are into girls smashing their face on bread. Have you guys seen
Oh
that
yes,
video?
it's the Asian girl where she
so
like
weird.
rolls her head on it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I have not seen that.
Oh, my,
It's
you would actually
hilarious.
love her YouTube
I saw,
channel.
I saw it in the context of being like when you're like dieting or something, you just can't eat. You just can't eat the bread, and she's just like,
I wish I saw it like that.
not in the like really erotic sense, which I'm sure is what a lot of people look at it for.
Okay. I think we've covered the main story because we have 2 minor stories that we need to talk about. Any other thoughts on the main story, or can we move to the minor stories?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Dodds.
The Dodds and their matching cute haircuts.
Oh, first off, I hate that he got a haircut.
Both of them.
And second of all, I would be okay with Peter Gallagher joining the team. I'm not okay with whatever this is. I don't like it. I like Peter Gallagher. I like Papa Dodds. I don't like whatever this is. This whole, I'm here to set up your career and I'm going to blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Just listen to your old pop. I'll get it for you,
I don't
kid.
know what these voices are that we're doing. Yep, that sounds right. What'd you guys think of the baby
know,
Papa Dodds situation?
I liked that Baby Dodds is like, oh, well, I think I like it here, Dad.
Dad, I wanna
there's
stay-
another voice. I like that he's feeling more at home and getting
Yeah.
comfortable there and liking the team and kind of finding his own path.
Dad, I want to stand up for my show.
This is my life. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they're like so buddy. So I don't think we'll see him leave, but I think
we got a lot of hate.
Hopefully he goes like
Daddy
Quantico.
Dodd needs to just like settle down and let Baby Dodds do his thing.
We have a lot of fans who are not happy with our hatred or our disaffection. I don't know what word I'm looking for. We're not really pleased with Baby Dodds.
I just don't get it. Like, not that I don't get. I get why he's there. I get why they would want it, but he doesn't bring the same essence.
A lot of people wouldn't mind if Baby Dodds left the show.
I just either give us a reason to care, or get rid of him.
Right, because we still are kind of like, meh.
Yeah, he got shot, and we were like,
meh.
that would have been interesting if they killed him. We actually talked about that last week.
That'd be a really great way for him to really go out on a high note.
Because it's never happened on SVU where one of our detectives leave because they were murdered by a suspect.
And how would that affect the rest of the team? That
is yet to happen, and I think that would have been so much more interesting. And I would have been like, good for him. Maybe I miss him a little. Nah. And I like the fact that Papa Dots points out that now he's a hero, air quotes on that, because
he got shot.
Because he got shot because of that reckless girl from Chicago.
Oh, yeah?
Reckless.
He's so political.
Yeah.
Great move, son.
Great move getting
shot. For taking that bullet.
I do like that he was trying to set him up with the physical therapist. I need to speak to my son. He's single.
Maybe that's what we need, a little love life from him.
Maybe. He's too,
by the book.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe
he's into
a little
feet.
bit.
I want to know what he's into.
Right?
I would have been okay with him being the one into kids.
Oh, no.
That would have actually made a storyline
He's such
really
like a
interesting.
dodo, I feel like.
That's why it'd have been so interesting.
Oh, wait. Anna Andrade, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, says that Andy Carl, Baby Dodds, has a new gig on Broadway, so he'll be gone soon. Interesting. When Real Life News tells us how the show's going to go.
Oh, he's a Broadway star.
They should have killed him last episode.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's switch gears to...
Because I don't know if we are going to talk about the Rollins, the undercover stuff again.
No,
So Audrey said, what did we think about the attempted rape scene with Rollins in the beginning and her being so passive and not really stepping in? And I think...
I mean, she was undercover.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're undercover, and I think they have to wait to a certain point, until they have whatever qualifies as enough evidence. They're only going to let it go that far, and then
he just undid his belt, and that was enough for her to be like, no.
Yeah.
Well, because so the cadet looks back to her like, do I take my top off now?
Yeah.
And so I think what they need, because it's really hard to prove intent. That's one of the most difficult things. I'm pretty sure that is a line.
Well, because what did he say?
It's difficult to prove intent.
He said he was baiting to see if...
Oh, he was trying to... He was pulling a con on them.
Yeah.
Nice try, bro.
Which I think is the cutest thing ever when people try to... No, I was doing this.
Yeah, I was tricking you to see if you guys were going to do anything wrong.
I was going to arrest you.
In your secret basement.
Citizens arrest, yeah. No, I think I just quoted literally a line from... Was it from the People vs.
She said that's not what she meant.
Oh, what did she mean?
What did you mean?
Yeah, what did you mean? Sorry. Okay, while you figure out what you meant, I want to talk about Tucker and Benson, which everyone's calling Tuxon, and I'm not okay with that.
Like Tuxon.
It's either Bucker or Tenson.
Bucker or Tenson?
Although it seems we're going to be the only ones referring it to that, because
Bucker.
literally I think...
I like Bucker.
Like Bucker?
I like Bucker.
Bucker. Because they want to... Bucker.
Tuxon. Well, because I don't like Tuxon. I like Liv being first.
I also like Liv being first. But whatever, Tuxon apparently is the one that everyone's going with. Ugh. No one asked us. No one asked for our opinion, because that's what matters.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how they were so like such a team throughout the episode too. Yeah, I feel like they'd kind of the eye contact and be like, well, what do you there were some of those little tiny moments.
Yeah.
And obviously at the very end, for sure. But no, I noticed that throughout. They were very we're on the same team, we're working together,
I love them together. But I don't like how Tucker has softened in the years, right? We were talking about this. Mm-hmm. He would have never been so cordial to Abraham.
Mm. Yeah.
He would have been so much more like, you're a piece of crap, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The way he used to be.
Yeah, exactly. He was so suspicious of everyone right off the bat.
And he used to be very, like anti-SVU. He always was out to get them. And there was like an entire story arc where someone came in and was like, I don't think IAB is out to get you guys. Oh, wait a second. IAB is totally out to get you guys.
Do you think he was playing up to the fact that because this is someone within, the Bureau, that he was a little nervous?
Well, he's internal affairs.
I mean, I know.
His job is to investigate.
I just felt like him, period, through this episode. Yeah. I didn't get that. I didn't get, like, the moments where I wanted him and Liv next to each other. It was like, I didn't feel it. I don't know, like, it didn't make me feel like that's definitely who she was talking to on the phone.
Oh.
I
just have a theory. A theory just occurred.
Okay.
Because Tucker used to be all anti-SVU, and that was back in the Stabler days.
Oh.
What if it's...
Not only. We saw, he wasn't like...
Yeah, but
he's been anti more recently, too.
Yeah, but he's been less obnoxious.
Sorry, keep going.
He's been nicer to Liv, and I think it's because Benson... I'm going to throw it out there, because Stabler is out of her life now, so now he feels like he's got a shot. Okay. Yeah?
Swoop on in.
I think that's it. I'm going to go with that.
I like it.
Boom. I just solved the mystery. Did we get a question?
Audrey was saying that the undercover cops said seemed so uncomfortable during that scene, like, just
the young
like
girl
she regretted it. Yeah.
Oh, at the end when it looked like she looked like she had actually been assaulted.
Yeah.
I think that's why I think I would like her to come back to SVU and like want to join them, because she now understands what it feels like.
Right. And I think if you're doing that undercover, obviously you know what you're getting yourself into, and you know it's gonna be uncomfortable. And even if you're acting and you're like, okay, I'm okay with this, like putting myself in this situation where someone's going to attempt to assault me, so it's going to get weird.
And I know
it's still going to feel weird,
right?
Yeah.
And she knows that, like, at no point would he have done anything because there was a cop in the room with her and there were cops watching.
Right.
Because it's like watching How to Catch a Predator.
Yeah,
really,
it's
those
still
kids
not going to be
like...
a comfortable situation to put yourself in, even if you're just acting. You're like, oh, this guy's just like that. Katie the pants on.
I don't know.
Bensler.
Bensler.
Anna calls them Bensler. Steven likes Bucker.
Bucker's a good one.
I like Bucker.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's time we head into real SVU news.
Woo.
Boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think we have sound effects today. So real SVU news. Guys, a fan of our show sent me an article about that is very similar to this episode and may or may not be the case that it's based on. So a Northwestern University police lieutenant was charged with child pornography. So he is his name was Ronald Godby. Awful name. He's 53. He's been charged with manufacturing and possessing child pornography as well as grooming. Excuse me while my phone rings. He appeared, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this man is a lieutenant at Northwestern University. He also has a photography business in the studio in his home and is accused of taking photographs revealing the genitalia of a girl who is 13. And again, around when she turned 17, according to the police. So the complainant says that he reached out to the girl on Snapchat in January asking her to do another photo shoot, and attached photos of a scantily clad woman telling him that she would be posed in a similar manner. He also sent her an electronic image of a penis. So a dick pic. I don't know why it's written out so weird. He sent a dick pic.
Because it's a news source.
They're not gonna...
He said a dick
Legal
pic.
terms.
Yeah. The victim told other students about the photo shoot. Another student told teacher, leading to the authorities. So let me continue. When informed by the detectives that they would be executing search warrants on his computers, the defendant stated, "If you have enough for a search warrant, I'm expletive. I'm going to go with the F word. I'm effed, is what he said. He works in the investigative division of the police force at Northwestern. He also, this is the craziest part. So he also is a photographer for events at the high school. So in 2013, he was Prospect High School's recipient of the district's Distinguished Service Award. He used to go to the events at the school, like dance performances or other things, and take photos for the school. So his business, his website indicates that he regularly photographed performing art shows at the schools. And there's this story about a photo that he did. I want to read this because it was so weird. Okay, so in a photo shoot, which allegedly occurred in his home studio sometime between August and October of last year. And this is a recent story. Sorry, I'm reading a recent article from like this week. So last year, he instructed a girl to pull her underwear to the side to expose her genitals. He told her that it would not be part of the shoot, but the girl then heard multiple clicks of the photo being taken. The girl reported she felt increasingly uncomfortable during the shoot and left. So crazy. He was ordered to give up his firearms ID, because he has a firearm, has no access to internet or cell phones, and cannot have contact with minors other than his immediate family. How crazy is this story?
That is nuts. This stuff like this makes me so terrified for one day having children and letting them have cell phones.
And how many stories? It was like I just Googled child pornography ring.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I was going to give you a solution to...
Oh, yes, solution.
A solution to you being worried about your kids.
No, I think it'll be fine.
She's like, I'm good.
They don't get to have technology.
That's not my solution.
No, you know my
solution.
There's several things going on there.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Hey.
So this story was sent to me by a student at the high school that took photos, who was asked to remain anonymous, obviously.
That is gnarly. We're on the SVU team.
We're terrified and hope that anyone who is watching that may have had any contact with him, please say
Speak
something.
up,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure. You have other stories and stuff.
Yo.
Go.
So they were at first people were alluding to the fact that this might have been a little bit based off Jared Fogle, the Subway guy, right?
Oh, yeah, Fogle.
But I think they mixed two together. I think he was our Texas barbecue, the celebrity factor of it.
Okay.
Oh.
So ready for this story called Operation Torpedo.
Yes.
This is a 3-year-long FBI situation that they've been trying to bust this website called Pedobook.
What an awful name.
So I'm going to have some questions for you guys as far as like morally, because right now the FBI is...
we're the people to ask about
You
morals.
are. You know, the FBI is kind of getting hit where they're hacking and they're baiting basically online, and people are saying, is this right? Like, you're creating a candy store, and then when people come into the candy store, you're like, ha-ha, screw you.
Yeah.
All right, so the court order allowed the FBI to do a mass hacking. So basically, these people would go to the website, but they would end up visiting a wrong website, which would put malware on their computer and then allow the FBI to go onto their computer. The reason they couldn't do that before is because these sites are on something called the dark web, in which
How do you get on the dark
it's like a TOR.
You have to know how to...
be a hacker.
Like, my brother
stuff.
could do something like that. But
So
anyways... They caught, from Omaha, Nebraska, the first person they found was from this company called Power DNN. He was one of the head employees there, Aaron McGrath. In 2012, they busted into his home, caught him, as he was signed in as the administrator of Pedobook.
What?
Yes, which is the online social media site. It's a social media site with child sharing photos. He closed the laptop, and when he closed the laptop with the dark web, that closed the encryption, so they opened it and they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But using... they figured out the site, so they created those hacks. So they created them. They found the dumbest of the dumb people on the dark web. And these are just 3 stories of the people that they've caught. One was 22 years old from Alabama. He was the one who promised everyone on the web that of images of his unborn child out of his wife's uterus. He got 15 years sentence. Another one, 42 years old, was boasting about
judge.
all of his rapings.
Uterus porn?
Wait, go back to this story. This story we can
It's
judge. Go on.
strange. 42 years old, he was boasting about all of his rapings in the Philippines. He got 20 years.
Wow.
And then they found P. Titty Eater. That's his screen name.
What an awful screen name.
And they were really worried about him because his last message that they could read he said, "I am tired of fantasy. I need to kill an infant for real."
What?
They found out.
Wait, that name does not correspond with what he wanted to do.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
Go
right now.
on.
So they found him because, hey, we all have one username, right? He used P. Titty Eater for his AOL username as well. So AOL allowed them to hack into his account, and it said that he was based out of Maryland. And so when they it said Washington, but then when they hacked into it using Verizon, they found out he was in Maryland. So that then led them to, and now this leads us to this case. Tim DeFoggy, who is the top cybersecurity official at Health and Human Services. So all this is chained up to it. Oh, so you got that part of the story?
I have right here.
Good. Well, so go ahead.
I was going to say, take it away, Lauren.
Yeah. So Timothy DeFoggy, 56, was the former acting director of cybersecurity for the United States, Human Health and Human Services Department. So department that works for the welfare of children, things like that. The head of it and the head of the cyber department. So
And his plea was, I work with the FBI. I would never do that.
Right.
FBI stormed into his house at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, April 2013. He was in his underwear on the floor over an open laptop. He closed the window, but the photos were still downloading from the porn site called Onion Pedo Video.
Guys, don't put pedo in the name.
He got 25 years in prison. So overall, with this web circus, there was a half a dozen children saved. There are over 13,000 active members still. Only 19 out of those 13,000 were found and sentenced. Gosh, dark web collection of images. Right now, there's one called Melinda, My Daughter, and it's been viewed 467,000 times, and that's what they're trying to do. But my question for you guys is like right now, this is kind of happening with the
iPhone thing.
Yeah, what do you think? Should Apple step in? Is that I don't know,
I think it's different because
right.
I think that I don't know. It's a tough one because
it's so tough.
Yeah, you don't want to create
something that other people can hack into.
Something that it can get hacked into and be used against you and used for all sorts of really awful things. But I think in cases like this that we're talking about, like child rape, pornography, potential murder, things like that.
Like when we're talking about 13,000 people?
Effing deal. Yeah. That I think it's a discretion thing. I don't think it's like a black and white situation. Obviously, the stuff that's happened in San Bernardino is very serious and was very awful. But I don't know that... I feel like there are other ways they can probably figure it out. And is it necessarily unlocking this whole, huge, ring of other stuff? Who knows? But
I'm torn, and I'd like to say that I'm not on either side yet. I need to investigate and do research before I choose sides. But I feel like when we talk about the using your discretion thing, if we think about things like, remember the Patriot Act? Remember that? Where it went, I need to, national security, need to look through this stuff. Those are things that come up, is when people then can abuse it and do what they want. Things to think about.
The more you know.
The more you know, always, on this show. They were so educational here.
Finally. Hey, welcome back.
Evidence of life.
Yeah. Wow. So, what a crazy situation.
How many years? Insane. That's just
I feel like everyone has whatever secret they have, and either get better at hiding it, or don't be stupid about it.
Yeah.
Right?
What did you think about his plea at the end, though? Where he was I realize that what I've done is...
I mean, he was going to be on the registry for 20 years, which he's not a young man. He knows what he did wrong. I'm so torn because
it's just kind of you realize you got caught.
Right, and I think there is a very
like
important
this guy. I'm effed.
a very important difference between looking at things and then acting on them.
Yeah, but what he's
depending on
looking
they are.
at,
right? I'm not saying like
was somebody acting
that's okay.
on it.
No,
Yeah.
I get that, but I think that's in like with his sentencing
Right.
and things like that. Like I don't feel like I'm good, let him off the hook.
Right.
No big deal. Nothing like that, obviously, because
I love y'all's
by
voices.
him, by
We are
him
real good at voices
watching
here.
it and distributing it, he's encouraging and supporting people to keep creating that kind of stuff.
I just don't understand how he could like.
You have a daughter.
Yeah, no, fine, but I don't get. I'm fine. Okay, let's say it's okay that he's looking at. Let's say that's okay.
Okay, we're in this world
Right.
where it's okay.
But like, you in your job are helping other people look at it. Your job is to be part of the team that stops that.
Yeah, like how do you do those things that are so opposite, like in direct conflict with one another? It's not like, oh, I'm a police officer and I also do this shady thing.
Yeah, but I do things
it's like,
that are
Yeah,
direct conflict
but
with
how
each
many
other.
times has this situation, it may have came up with they were catching another pedophile where he might have had to lie about something because he's trying to protect his own self.
Right. My problem is that like, okay, he's consuming the porn, fine. Sure, let's assume that's fine. He's then giving it to other people. There was an episode, sorry, there was an episode where...
back in 1992.
Wait, and
Show
then he had the
started in
things
99.
taped underneath his
Yeah,
thing.
he had hard
Who
drives
does
taped.
that
Yeah.
in 2016? I'm sorry, that was like...
porn to get caught.
Well...
You don't hide that shit in the cloud.
Nice. I just don't understand how he could be so stupid to distribute. Like, great, enjoy yourself, fine, but like,
Because
don't
when you-
give it to other people.
When you do that and you're crossing that line, he is clearly thinks he can get away with so much.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you've made that decision to go down that path, you're not like thinking that rationally about it. Like, yeah, you don't want to get caught and you're trying to cover your ass as best as possible, but he's not like, oh, well, I should scale it back. That's taking the risk a little too
Right.
far. Like, he's like gone.
But that makes me less sympathetic to him because it's not just like, I have this problem, this is what I'm into.
Right.
It's, I have this problem, this is what I'm into. I'm going to share it with other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like Napster.
It's an addiction.
Dirty Napster.
dirty Napster. That's awful. Okay.
Napster.
I think it's time we head into predictions.
No?
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 Okay. I thought our sign of life was over.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so if you saw the promo for next week, what? Okay, the tagline was, you know the story, but wait for the SVU twist. And it's got Craig Bierko as the guest star. Here's the question, because it's someone on TV assaulting a girl. Now the questions we have are, is it our Cosby story we've been waiting for? Is it the Stephen Collins story we've been waiting for? Is he molesting multiple people? Is he drugging them? Are they underage?
Or is it a lying case?
Or is it a lying case?
to get to extort somebody?
Thoughts?
I hate to say it like that. I'd like it to be the Bill Cosby case.
Right, no, I want to see
I
the Bill
don't
Cosby
think it
case.
is.
I don't think so either.
I don't think it is either because
No.
that's too. We don't even really know where that.
Right,
I
we're
think they
still
would
waiting.
come out and like be more direct with it. I feel like
The case we've
The
all been
Cosby
talking
case is like a real life Dick Wolf ending.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Charlie Sheen too. I was like, I know he didn't really have all that, but I was wondering. Here's this guy on TV and all these girls, but that was more like the stand-up comedy one. Do you remember that where he was like the dick? He was the the host. He was like the host on that popular TV show, and the girl came on. He read about the book about.
That was the 50 Shades of Grey one.
Yeah.
That wasn't the Charlie Sheen story. That's the 50 Shades of Grey one.
No, but he gave me like Charlie
okay.
that
Charlie
dickish.
Sheen
But I'm
vibes.
wondering if maybe something along the lines.
And the
of,
comedian one was an actual comedian who was telling rape jokes.
Oh, okay.
Guys,
Oh yeah.
I love this story. This show so much.
goodness.
Okay, wait. So, I think that it's going to be the Stephen Collins one because they're going to play it up as like someone because they said it's someone we loved
Yeah,
on TV.
yeah.
And Stephen Collins, for those who don't remember, we talked
Seventh
about it.
Heaven.
He's the Seventh Heaven Dad who played
Yup.
a reverend and like he was the beloved father. That's my theory.
Were they assaulted?
It was revealed. He revealed that he had assaulted 3 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
whereas Cosby was just adults. Just
Also,
adults.
side note, but have you guys been reading in the paper what I need SVU to cover is that 18-year-old boy in Florida who is pretending to be, he's been pretending for the past 5 years to be a gynecologist?
No. We'll talk about that next week. Yeah.
Whoa.
On that note.
That's crazy.
Jesse, where do you tell me where they can find you?
You guys can hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J.
Oh, and you guys can find me everywhere at Lauren Salaun. And yes, this is a Band-Aid on my nose. Follow me on my other social media channels to learn out why.
She got a nose job.
You're like Nelly, yeah.
Nose job, yeah.
She got a nose job, guys.
Shark attack.
Nice. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram where I'm doing a DVD giveaway, literally giving DVDs at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I also have a new podcast. It's free on iTunes called Intimate Interrogations. Check it out. And we will see you here next week for more SVU.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Dun, dun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.